but He does that for them. But you know what? There are some people who, even though they recognize the things that Allah is doing for them, it's really hard for them to accept that all of the things that they have is not actually from themselves. It's not something that they just deserve or they're entitled to, that they are given as gifts from Allah. Young people reach a certain age where they become really, really obsessed with themselves. Really obsessed. You start caring a lot about how you look. You start caring a lot about, maybe the brand of clothes that you're gonna wear. You start thinking a lot about even the kind of book bag you're gonna bring to school. I can't take that one, everybody's gonna make fun of me. Or maybe a friend of yours has the new iPhone and now your iPhone looks like a dinosaur and you can't show your face in society anymore because you're behind everybody else. You start comparing yourself to other people, right? And all the time you're constantly comparing yourself to someone else and you start thinking, I don't have what this person has. I'm not as tall as that one. I'm not as good looking as this one. I'm not as rich as that one. I don't have the things that this one has. And you're constantly thinking about what you don't have. And when you're constantly thinking about what you don't have, it becomes very difficult for you to be grateful. It becomes very difficult for you to think about the fact that Allah is taking care of you. That Allah is giving you things that you can't imagine, that you can never count. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. Because all of your time is spent thinking about what you don't have. This is actually the very definition of ingratitude. An ungrateful person is not necessarily someone who comes out and says, I am ungrateful to Allah. Nobody says that. No Muslim says that. But when someone's always complaining, when someone's always whining, when someone's always depressed that they don't have something, when someone's always negative, they're always thinking about the negative. And they're never appreciative of what they actually have. You have health. There are millions of children around the world that are in hospitals, that have been in accidents, that can't walk anymore. You have the gift of health. You have the gift of your tongue, your speech. You have the gift of your eyes. You have the gift of parents. For the vast majority of you, alhamdulillah, your parents are alive. That's a gift from Allah. That's not something to undermine. But you start taking these things for granted. A lot of you guys have, and girls have, like a PlayStation at home. Maybe a PlayStation 3, how embarrassing, you don't have a PlayStation 4. You should make istighfar for that one, It's like, you don't, and you keep thinking, man, I wish I had that. I wish I had the new one. That new game came out, I don't have it, my friends have already played it. That's how your mind is running all the time. And this is as you as kids. But guess what? If you don't fight this now, and if you don't make this normal now, when you become adults, you'll turn into the most greedy adults on the planet. All you're thinking about is yourselves. And the great turmoil on the planet, the great wars that are happening, the corruption that's happening, the pollution that's happening on the planet, all the problems of the planet, you know what they go back to? They go back to one disease, and that one disease is greed. People want more for themselves. They're not happy with what they have. Companies want more for themselves. They're not happy with how much they already make. So they don't care if they're going to pollute rivers and lakes, so long as they can make more money. Governments want more control for themselves. Doesn't matter how many people they kill, So this is where it comes to all those people that are doing these terrible things. There was a time when they were kids. And when they were kids, their greed went unchecked. And now that they're adults, their greed has gone crazy. So we Muslims, alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, we are people that keep acknowledging the favor of Allah. But you don't understand, the favor of Allah, saying alhamdulillah, recognizing ar-Rahman, just recognizing it is actually something that can save the world from a lot of problems. It can save the world from terrible, terrible greed. Because one day you guys are going to be executives. One day among you are going to be presidents. Among you are going to be business owners. Among you are going to be doctors. And just to give you an example of a doctor, there's the right kind of doctor and there's a wrong kind of doctor. The kind of doctor that wants to save people's lives, wants to help people. He gets into this profession because he cares about humanity. Yes, he makes a good living, but he's not in it for the money. It's so much more than money for him. But then there's the kind of doctor who says, man, doctors make a lot of money. I saw this doctor, he was riding a Benz. Man, I want to get a Porsche. Why do you want to be a doctor? Well, you see doctors' houses, man? That's why I want to be a doctor. And I hope I never have to go to a doctor like that one, because they don't see me as a human being. They see me as ka-ching, ka-ching, money in the bank. That's what they see in front of them. They just get rid of me quickly and get to the next patient, because all they care about is the more patients I see, the more money I can make. They're not going to give me a good advice that's for me. They're not going to tell me to take the medication that I need to better myself. They're going to tell me the medication that their pharmaceutical company told them to prescribe, so they can get a cut, so they can get more perks. That's what they're going to do. Dishonesty in the most noble profession. You guys are going to be in those professions, and you're going to have to make a choice between honesty and dishonesty, between your own greed and your integrity, your character. But that will not automatically happen one day. It has to start now. You have to start thinking about other people from now. You have to stop being obsessed only with yourself. Yes, take care of yourself, have a good time, play video games, I don't mind. Keep it in balance though, Someone said, Ustad Noman said you can play video games. That means I can go make Qiyamul Layl tonight and finish Assassin's Creed 3 times over. No. On the one hand, our deen allows us to relax. Our deen allows us to enjoy ourselves. But on the other hand, it prevents us from falling into extremes. Falling into just, you get obsessed with one thing and you're just completely immersed. But I said to you today, my khutbah is focused on the scene from Judgment Day. From those people. And if you want to accomplish great things in life, become grateful. Because once you become grateful, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, Allah will increase you in ways you couldn't even imagine. If you're having a hard time in math class, in science, if you're having a hard time in English or in Arabic class, you're not doing any better, you're hoping you could do better, but you're not doing better, guess what? Become more grateful to Allah. Allah will open doors for you. Your studies will become easier. You'll get better at basketball. You'll become more athletic. Everything in your life will start getting better when you become grateful. When you become grateful. So I pray that Allah makes you grateful young people that are an example for others all over the world, and especially all over this city. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.